Hello, thank you for joining this webinar. Today I'm going to be talking to you about bimodal hearing and considerations for those who have a cochlear implant in one ear and a hearing aid in the other. My name's Shahad and I'm from the support and community team at Advanced Bionics. The role of our team is to support people through their cochlear implant journey. We do this by directly supporting candidates and supporting you to have good conversations with potential candidates and to support recipients post-implant. So what is bimodal hearing and how can it help cochlear implant wearers? As you may know, in the UK, children usually receive bilateral implants, but adults are only eligible to receive one unless they have a dual sensory impairment. Most unilateral cochlear implant wearers report that they can cope quite well with conversation in quiet, but they might experience difficulty when in challenging listening situations. They might report difficulty hearing in background noise or groups, needing to position themselves so their implanted ear is pointing to the sound that they want to hear. Overall, reduced sound awareness and increased listening effort and fatigue. Despite these difficulties, many cochlear implant wearers stop using their hearing aid in their non-implanted ear for various reasons, but most commonly because they don't perceive any benefit or they feel that the hearing aid makes their hearing worse. Possible reasons for this might include a lack of integration between the hearing aid and the cochlear implant because they're set up independently from each other and so don't work together. We know that two ears are better than one. Humans are designed to listen with two ears and our brains are wired to process sound that way. Including access to low frequency hearing in a bimodal fitting has been found to result in a richer, fuller sound experience. This is why Phonak and Advanced Bionics developed the NAIDA Link M and SkyLink M, hearing aids which are specifically designed to work with the cochlear implant. Research shows that pairing a compatible hearing aid with a cochlear implant improves speech understanding in quiet and in noise, and experiencing music through a cochlear implant along with a hearing aid allows for better music quality and increased enjoyment for the listener. Anyone, adult or child, with a unilateral cochlear implant and some aidable hearing in their contralateral ear could benefit from bimodal hearing. For the NAIDA Link M and SkyLink M, the sound processor in the implanted ear will need to be a NAIDA Marvel CI to get the full bimodal benefit. But the NAIDA Link M and SkyLink M would also benefit those with a severe to profound hearing loss, even if they're just at the beginning of their cochlear implant journey. It's really important to match the correct hearing aid with the correct sound processor for the full bimodal benefit. The NAIDA CI M90 works with the NAIDA Link M and the Sky CI M90 works with the Sky Link M. Both aids fit within this range, so they should cover most hearing losses. And as we've just said, you could choose to fit the Link M hearing aid as part of your standard severe to profound hearing loss management. However, where it really becomes more effective is to consider fitting it at the stage where you are starting to think about a cochlear implant for this patient. You can introduce the Link M hearing aid as a stepping stone almost to a cochlear implant. Fit it before the CI assessment, and then as they progress through to a unilateral CI, they're able to keep the Link M hearing aid on the other side as something familiar to help them transition to the new CI technology. They may even be more likely to accept a referral for CI assessment if you can reassure them that they will still be able to continue wearing and gaining some benefit from a hearing aid in the ear that's not implanted. So patients could start with a binaural NAIDA Link fitting and then transition to either a bimodal fitting or a bilateral CI fitting if they're eligible. So what is so unique about the AB bimodal solution? Because we're able to share technologies with Phonak, we've been able to develop a truly bimodal system with many benefits that you don't get from traditional hearing aids. The Link M hearing aid has been specifically designed to work with and complement the Marvel CI processor. An obvious advantage of a dedicated bimodal solution is matched ergonomics and cosmetic design, which can be very important to some people. So here are some examples of the colours that recipients can choose for the NAIDA. And here are the colours for the sky. Shared controls make use of both devices nice and easy. With just one click, you can adjust volume or programs in both devices simultaneously. The matched signal processing combines the Phonak Marvel platform with AV sound processing. So both devices react and adjust at the same time to the changing listening situations through the matched front-end processing and gain behaviour. Binaural voice stream technology uses all 4 microphones from either 2 Marvel CI processors or a Marvel CI processor and Link M hearing aid as a network for focused listening in a variety of complex situations, like in noise or on the phone. You'll already be familiar with some of these features, such as duophone, stereo zoom and zoom control. Quick sync is what allows the simultaneous volume and program changes for that ease and convenience. And now cochlear implant recipients can also benefit from these, whether they have bilateral cochlear implants, whether they are electroacoustic stimulation, or whether they're bimodal listeners. One of the biggest benefits of a bimodal fitting is fully integrated streaming technology, which allows for music, media, phone calls and TV to be streamed directly to both devices at the same time for an enhanced listening experience. With the bimodal system, recipients can benefit from all 5 different wireless protocols, giving them access across both ears to binaural voice stream technology, as we've just mentioned, which provides that synced sound processing between the 2 ears, wireless programming and mobile app control, direct Bluetooth connectivity for hands-free phone calls and streaming media and music, Airstream technology for TV and remote mic access, and direct connection to Roger without the need for an external receiver. All of this is giving them the connection that they need to their friends, family, and the world around them. Recipients can also control both devices through one app, again for more convenience and better control. And this slide just summarises the matched technologies for you, which far exceed other bimodal solutions. Now let's see how easy it is to fit a truly bimodal hearing aid. Let's take a look at what happens during a bimodal hearing aid fitting that is not part of a true bimodal system. These hearing aids are fitted with generic hearing aid formulas, for example NAL or DSL. These formulas do not align acoustic and electric processing. That's required for optimal bimodal hearing. Generic fitting formulas focus their amplification in the high frequency region of 1 to 4 kHz. And while high frequencies are typically most important for speech understanding, for severe hearing loss, they're also the frequencies where dead regions in the cochlea most likely occur. Research has shown that it is in fact low frequencies that may be most important to maximize bimodal benefit. Low compression thresholds in wide dynamic compression and fast-acting syllabic compression are usually prescribed for hearing aids, but in the cochlear implant, different input-output functions and a slower-acting automatic gain control are used. So there is a potential mismatch in how the sound is processed across the 2 devices. So, using a generic fitting formula for bimodal hearing might actually result in misaligned loudness growth because the cochlear implant and the hearing aid have different compression thresholds and compression ratios, misaligned AGC because of the different attack and release times, and an inappropriate gain across the frequency range, resulting in not enough low frequency gain and too much high frequency gain, where because of the dead regions in the cochlea, the bimodal listener might not receive any additional benefit, and they may even experience distortion or actually a decreased speech intelligibility. When using the generic hearing aid fitting formulas, the gain mismatch is typically corrected for by a very careful and time-consuming technique of loudness balancing between the speech processor and the hearing aid. But different from typical hearing aid fitting formulas, the adaptive Phonak digital bimodal fitting formula maximizes effective audibility by modifying the frequency response and bandwidth of the NAIDA-Link M hearing aid depending upon the audiometric configuration to account for potential cochlear dead regions, by increasing gain for low frequencies where the majority of bimodal listeners will still have some residual hearing, and by aligning compression in both devices by applying the automatic gain control characteristics of the cochlear implant in the Link M hearing aid to account for similar output and loudness for speech. The result is that balanced loudness is achieved automatically. The APD bimodal fitting formula aligns the frequency response of the hearing aid to the cochlear implant, matches the input-output function of the hearing aid to the cochlear implant, and aligns the dynamic compression behavior. Taken together, these alignments have been shown to provide improved speech understanding in noise by up to 2 decibels over non-aligned or standard hearing aid fittings. Sound recover will usually be set at the default setting in the NAIDA-Link M in a hearing aid only fitting, but it will not be activated in the automatically generated bimodal program. And the reason for that is because sound recover is not available for the cochlear implant, for the Marvel CI. The picture here shows that for fittings based on APD bimodal, sound recover, even set to its strongest lowering, is not increasing high frequency audibility. Here you can see that for the sloping audiogram and fittings based on APD bimodal, sound recover again is not providing any additional audibility for high frequencies, and it might not be needed at all. And the subjective benefit may be different when more high frequency information is available via the cochlear implant on the contralateral ear. So generally it's okay to leave sound recover off. The evidence shows that frequency lowering is not beneficial in bimodal fittings. The Link M hearing aid can either be set up in the Target CI software along with the Marvel CI processor, or it can be set up within Target 7.1. So this is if you want to fit it pre-implant or as a bimodal hearing aid post-implant. There are newer versions of Target, but you do need to be on at least 7.1 to fit this hearing aid. You connect both the cochlear implant and the hearing aid to Target 7.1. The cochlear implant is connected as read-only, so don't worry about accidentally making any changes to this, but this means that the information about the programs and the settings can be automatically pulled through to align the hearing aid accordingly. The hearing instruments connect to the NOALink wireless using Bluetooth Low Energy that allows for wireless fitting while at the same time conserving battery life. The CI clinic will need to prepare the CI bimodally for the NAIDA-Link M fitting by saving the processor as a bimodal fitting, even if they're not actually fitting the hearing aid. So it's important to have that dialogue with the Cochlear Implant Centre to make sure that the patient care is joined up. Once they've done this, then you can connect both devices to Target 7.1 and program them up in just a few clicks. There's no need for a bimodal fitting report like we used to have with our older versions of Soundwave fittings, because the pairing just now happens automatically when both the devices are connected to the software. After pairing, the program structure in the cochlear implant will be read out and a matching program structure will be generated for the hearing aid. Phonak Target 7.1 recognises that Marvel CI is the primary device. So Marvel CI can be connected to Phonak Target in order to read the settings, but no settings are saved to the cochlear implant. This is indicated by the little lock icon in the image here from Target 7.1. Just something for you to note, an off-ear compatible program might be generated in the NAIDA-Link M program structure when the cochlear implant is read out. In the off-ear compatible program, on the cochlear implant side, the patient will hear from the microphone on the headpiece because it's assumed that the processor is being worn off the ear on a clip or in the waterproof battery. On the hearing aid side, the patient will hear a program based on calm situations because there is no off-ear microphone option. And for those who can only use one cochlear implant and don't have aidable hearing in the other ear, there is actually another solution. The Cross device is a sound solution that seamlessly transfers all the sounds to the Marvel CI, and it's unique to Advanced Bionics. Marvel CI is compatible with the Phonak Cross P13, which some of you might have fitted before. The Cross aid picks up the signals from the unimplanted ear and transmits them over to the Marvel CI processor, which delivers that signal to the implant. The benefits of a cross fitting are the removal of the head shadow effect, better speech intelligibility and noise, better hearing from all sides for increased ease of listening and satisfaction. So everyone should be able to benefit from hearing on both sides, regardless of their hearing levels. Cross is compatible with the Naida CI M90 and the Sky CI M90, and it can easily be programmed with Target CI and Noalink Wireless. So this brings us to the end of this topic. Thank you very much for listening. If you do have questions, please let me know. You can contact the support and community team by email at here-uk@advancedbionics.com. Before I leave you, I would just like to take this opportunity to invite you to join our Severe and Profound Professional Network. We started this network a couple of years ago to support professionals working with people through their hearing and cochlear implant journeys. We have around 300 professionals in the network now, and we always plan a really good schedule of events and learning opportunities across the year, so we can share that with you once you register. The link to register and receive more information is here through the SAP network sign up, and there's also a link to join the WhatsApp community to be the first to hear updates from the network. There is a list of references here that you might find useful for extra reading. Hopefully you should be able to download these, but you can always contact me for the list if needed. Thanks again, and see you soon.